everybody, welcome to Natty's Home Cooking. Today we are making a creamy chicken dinner. We are going to make first our dough so it can start rising while we're cooking our chicken. I'm just going to add a little bit of this yeast into, I think I did about 3 cups of flour, and then I've got this melted butter and some almond milk mixed together with some 2 teaspoons of sugar. But I cannot add this to the yeast because that will kill my yeast. So I've got to let this cool down a little bit. I do have a recipe for my dough on my channel. I've got one for ciabatta, sourdough bread, and regular bread. So you can check out those videos and go from there. The one that I use for my pan bread is for the one that has the egg and milk and sugar into it, so you'll want to use that one. So right now I'm just kind of cooling down the liquid a little bit so I can add it into the bowl of flour. You don't ever want to use no metal bowls, no metal spoons, no hot liquid into your yeast. You want to be careful with the yeast because it is kind of sensitive. It doesn't like those things because it can kill it. So, you know, to have a healthy dough, just do it that way with lukewarm liquids and use rubber spatulas or glass bowls and stuff like that. So I'm letting this yeast ferment a little bit before I start stirring it. Also, do not add salt to it yet until you mix that yeast up in that flour. That also can mess up the yeast. So I'm going to let this ferment a little bit and then I'm going to mix it, and then we'll add in some egg. Okay, so I got a few pieces of chicken because it's just a dinner for my husband. I don't eat meat anymore, so I'm gonna do a little bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic on here, and some Italian seasoning, and I will add a little bit of olive oil onto this. I just do a little bit of sprinkle of sea salt. Just make sure you have a little bit of that on there, and then we'll also add on our garlic powder. Now you can use fresh garlic cloves if you'd like. That's not a problem. You can just add it in with the oil and butter. And then we're going to do some black pepper as well. And then we'll add on some red pepper flakes. It kind of gives it a little bit of a spice to it, so that's why I use it. And then also the black pepper, or I'm sorry, we already used black pepper, Italian seasoning. And then I do also add, like I said, a little bit of olive oil onto this. So I'm just going to dazzle it on here a little bit. And then I'll just kind of smear it all over the chicken to kind of massage it in a little bit. Okay. And then once we get this all done, we're going to add it to the hot skillet. Okay, I'm just melting this butter down a little bit so that I can add in my chicken. I did add a little bit of olive oil in with that butter. And what we're going to do is just go ahead and let the chicken cook while we're prepping the other stuff. So we're going to start on the cream cheese. We're going to add in some cream of chicken. Just regular cream of chicken. You can add cream of celery instead, but I like the cream of chicken since I'm dealing with chicken, so it kind of gives it a really great flavor. Also, I do add in evaporated milk with this cream chicken. And we're going to blend this up with the blender. Sorry, my stove's a little bit messy because I've been cooking all morning. So, okay, we're just going to blend this up. Mix it really well. And then once you get that mixed up really well, we're going to add in a little cube of cream cheese, mix that in there with it, and it'll thicken up a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip these and let them cook on the other side for about another 10 minutes and let them get kind of crispy before we add in onions, because we do want to add in some onions and caramelize those onions a little bit. Okay, we're going to remove the chicken completely out of here. We're going to add in the onions, and it's okay if you have pieces of the chicken in there. That's fine. It'll actually cook with the onions. And I did chop up some garlic cloves as well to put in there with it to give it an extra little great flavor. So we're just going to continue to cook those onions, and then we'll add in that cream cheese sauce. So let this cook all together. You're going to stir this before we cover it. Just set to the side. And just mix it up really well. Look at those great rich flavors. And if you find it's a little too tangy for your palate, you know, either add in some cilantro or maybe a teaspoon of brown sugar, a little bit of brown sugar. But the cream cheese should sweeten it up a little bit. So will those onions that you cooked before then. But if you feel like you need just a little bit more of a sweetness a little bit, you can definitely add like I said, a teaspoon of brown sugar. And so we're going to let this cook a little bit. We're going to add some Italian seasoning and let that cook down a little bit. And then once you do that, and then I did taste it. It needs a little bit of a sea salt, so make sure you're tasting your flavors, okay? Making sure that it tastes good. I did have to add a little bit more sea salt and Italian seasoning and black pepper. So now that I've got the flavors that I want for this dish, I will be adding in my chicken and kind of like smudging it in there, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it tastes good. It's ready to go. So we can start adding those chickens. Just like that. And you want to keep the sauce because you can use that sauce for the bread. They can dip that bread in there and use it for a dipping. You can even put this over mashed potatoes if you wanted to, or rice. Oh my gosh, this is really, really good. I just, like I said, I don't eat chicken anymore, so but my husband said it was amazing. The flavors were all there. I added a little bit of that little bit of butter that I had in that dish, so it'll be mixed in there. I'm going to let this sit and cook a little bit, and I'm going to start on my bread. Alright guys, we're going to check on this chicken. It's looking great. It's cooking great. I did bring it down the temperature a little bit for it. I am going to sprinkle in some Parmesan and mozzarella that I grounded up together. So we're just going to put this on the top and let it cook some more until I get done with the bread. Our next step is the bread. So I'm going to show you a little great idea with the flatbread. So we're going to add a little bit of cream cheese. We're going to just smear this on here. Just like this. And I've already done them on the stove, but I also want to kind of air fry them in the air fryer with this. So I'm going to add a little bit of the cream cheese, or the cheese mixture that I grounded up earlier. But we're going to do garlic powder first, Italian seasoning, and a little bit of red pepper flakes, and then the mozzarella and Parmesan cheese on top here. And then we'll add on our tomatoes. Okay, just add those tomatoes on top. And then you put it, just put a little bit more cheese on top of it. And then we're going to put this in the air fryer and let that cook. Also, if you guys want to be more creative, you can add spinach on top of these too as well. These are perfect for little snacks. You know, especially if you're on a vegan diet, you can definitely use that. You can use the vegan cheese, cream cheese. I do have plant-based cheese that I do use as well, but since this is for my husband because he doesn't like that stuff, he's just getting a regular cream cheese and the mozzarella and parmesan. But if you're, like I said, if you are vegan and you need like a little snack, this is the perfect snack for it. You just, like I said, do the bread, and then make sure don't use the actual bread that you use for eggs. If you're going to use bread, make sure it's just the ciabatta bread, because it doesn't have eggs to it. And then you can definitely use vegan cream cheese and the vegan cheese and put it on there, and put some tomatoes and spinach, and just put it in the air fryer, and it turns out so good. It's really, really good. I love this pan bread. Alright guys, so this is it. I want to say thanks again for watching my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me get more content out for you. Anyway, we're just going to plate this and then we will be finished. Alright, you guys all have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching, and God bless.